Meghan furiously responds to King Charles evicting Harry and Meghan from Frogmore Cottage and handing it over to Andrew. Harry and Meghan did nothing but complain about it anyway. It wasn't big enough, modern enough, so why should they get to keep it? Besides, they don't want to be royals, so why should they get any house from the royal family or funded by the British people? They're never even there. Best part of eviction. If it really was declared in response to release of the spare, good for them. They needed to learn not to shit where they eat. His lease ran through February 28. There was already pressure on King Charles to not extend the lease. I believe after the king saw how hard Harry went after Camilla, despite knowing that was a red line for the king, Harry was informed in January that renewing his lease was no longer an option. I believe the news sources waited until the lease expired today before reporting on it to be sure that a last-minute extension was not offered. This would have given Harry nearly 8 weeks to make other arrangements, which is more than fair for a rarely used second home. This does mean that as of midnight tonight, Harry is no longer domiciled in the UK. He wanted to hang on to that Councillor of State title, which was only an option, while he had a legal domicile in the UK. It was on TV this morning, too. There weren't any new details, but they're calling it Frogsit was a bit amusing. Harold is actually out. I wonder if he's got the sick in the stomach feeling of financial pressure. That feeling that royals never have to experience. But since Harold is the world record holder in stupidity, he is running short of money now, after having been born with a diamond-encrusted silver spoon. It's like he's cut off both his arms and is bleeding out, but he's laughing at it all, while onlookers are watching in shock. And a way of preventing them from having free access to royal grounds. Now they can wait at the security gate to be admitted if someone wants to see them or they are invited, instead of being able to go and impose upon other as his brother, and keeps them away from George, Charlotte and Louis since Harry has made ominous comments about them. I strongly suspect that Harry and Meghan's access to all royal residences has been severely curtailed. I highly doubt that he will have free access to any of his family's properties ever again. I also think that even if they had been allowed to renew the lease, they wouldn't have, because it's money they can't afford to waste. How can the family trust them? In the doc included tons of photos taken in the private royal residences. I think the worst thing and the most treacherous is H's disclosing floor plans of all the residences